You're listening to the Fandom Bricks podcast, sponsored by Light Tailing LED lighting kits for your Lego. Use the code Fandom23 to get 10% off. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the podcast, Nathan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Josh.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. And the fact that you're making your debut and it's me that's hosting is just, for me, this is just, fantastic. It's what I want. You know, this is what I do these things for, really.
Well, yours was the first Lego podcast I ever listened to, so.
There we go then. I mean, if you're going to make your debut on any Lego podcast, you've got to do it on this one.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
I think so. You've got to do it, haven't you? It's a no-brainer, really, to be honest.
You've had some great guests already, so.
I mean, yeah, you look at the alumni of who has been on this podcast. You've had amazing people like Pod Bricks and the Ginger Lady. We've had Just 15 Bricks, the Lekoid, the All-Time Yashin. Jamie, the Brick Educator, has been on. So you're joining a very prestigious group of people, Nathan. So I think
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. So, yes, I think, as always, we will kick things off with our opening segment, which is Lego Life Stories. So, Nathan, tell us, what has your week in Lego been like? What have you bought? What have you built? What have you been up to?
Sure. I mean, it's the beginning of March, so obviously everyone's been all up in arms about the newest sets being released. I did buy a few, and actually one of the boxes just came today. I didn't go with the Rivendell set yet, but that does look like a fun set, I have to admit.
Yeah. A lot of grey, though. It's a lot of grey.
Yeah, it is. But also a Star Wars. But no, I've been building. Actually, recently I've been buying a lot of sets on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
And used sets. And so, you can get them for fairly cheap. And then I just rebuild them, and then I either keep them or resell them. And sometimes I resell them for the exact same price that I bought them for. And so at that point, then I'm just, it's a free build at that point. So I've been kind of doing that a lot lately. And right now I'm doing some architecture ones like the Great Wall and Singapore and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, no, loving that.
Oh, nice. I think when, like you say, it's March as well, has been a really interesting month because we've had like Rivendell, we've had the Brickheads, we've had a lot of things. We've had some more supposed leaks and announcements of some of the sets that are coming next month as well. So it's been fairly interesting. I mean, for me, as very much like you, I bought some stuff. I haven't bought Rivendell because I'm trying to find space for everything because I've got my UCS cantina in the box.
Oh, yeah.
That I haven't built yet, and then I've got the Sanctum Sanctorum just behind me at the back here. So I'm kind of a bit off the space. I did build the Captain Marvel and Nick Fury polybag that I bought off Amazon, which was a really fun little couple of minutes to build. And I also bought a retired set off eBay as well. So there you go.
Oh yeah, was that the troop transport?
Yes, yeah. Got the ambush on Ferrix I got in my trip to Scotland that I went on with my partner a couple of weeks ago. I got the Republic Senate Commandos battle pack, new in box, that I haven't opened. Okay. So
I saw you had that transport, and I didn't know that had 50 minifigures in that.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? When you realize it's insane, isn't it? When you realize just how many's actually in it, it's like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the Rivendell one was amazing for having all of those great ones in there, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
You can't argue with that one. So we will kind of finish off on that one because that was our week in Lego. Having Nathan with us, it's kind of nice to get another perspective. And also Rivendell as well has been one that has blown up quite a lot on a lot of people's content as well. So it's kind of nice to sort of shy away from that because I'm umming and ahhing on if I can afford it. Now, start off with our first topic, and that is Lego and what Lego means to us. Why do we collect Lego? Why do we buy it? What is so important about Danish plastic that means we get to have conversations like this? And Nathan, my question to you is, you have been a content creator on TikTok. You obviously have quite a diverse range of things that you talk about, but what is it about Lego that you enjoy the most? What is it that kind of gravitates you towards it?
Good question. I mean, I've been in Lego, I guess, since I was little. So I think it stems from when I was a young kid and I used to love building stuff. I'd build, castles. I'd build ships and boats and cars and just the classic stuff back in the day. And of course, I kind of fell out of that. I didn't build Lego probably for I want to say all through high school, college. And then afterwards, I started getting back into it slowly with Star Wars, in the 2000s. And it just kind of, was just a little bit here and there. But it wasn't until I would say actually the last 2 years that I really went full force and started collecting and buying a lot. And I think one of those things is during the time of the last 10 years, I've been building a lot of puzzles with my wife and with my family, and I like puzzles. I think puzzles are just it's just a fun thing to sit down and just kind of build, and then when you finish it, you get the full picture of what you were building with the little pieces, and it's just I love that. And so Lego, I think, is essentially just a 3D puzzle. I mean, it's you have your instructions, you have your pieces, and you don't. I mean, other than the picture on the box, you don't know what it looks like or how it goes together until you build. So I really enjoy that.
That's nice, and I think for me, it's nice to have somebody else's perspective about that who has a kind of a nice, fresh, different perspective. Because puzzles, I mean, I myself, this is a fun little bit of trivia that not a lot of people know. I'm a massive crossword fan, so I love to do crosswords and things like that. So for me, using my brain and trying to figure out, what is 4 across and 3 down is something that I really enjoy. And Lego for me has been something that I think it's, especially in the last few years, we've had obviously COVID, we've had the lockdowns. People really kind of got into Lego because they were locked up. They couldn't do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Were at home, and Lego kind of had like a massive boom, I think, which says a lot in the last 2 or 3 years. And I think especially we as collectors, we're a lot older. We have adult money now. We can afford to buy we can afford to buy the $300, $400 sets if we really wanted to. We could then go back and buy the things that we missed out on when we stopped collecting. So I think Lego is definitely something that it breeds the imagination, like it says on the box. It's a quirky hobby. I think a lot of us do enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're targeting, I think, to us as well. They're targeting to an older crowd. I mean, just the fact that they added the 18 plus sets and the larger, more expensive sets. I mean, I don't know many, 16-year-olds who are going to go spend $700, on a USC set or something. But yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are a few, but that's a lot. If I was 16, I'd be saving my money for other things.
Yeah. So. I think I never even had that much money when I was 16. I think, looking back on it now, so it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to sort of fork out, like you say. And that actually takes me on to my next question, which is your content and what you produce on your TikTok and your social media and things like that. It's quite diverse. Have you got a specific theme that you like? Are you kind of like, obviously you mentioned like you're into your architecture and your things like that. Are you very much all sort of avenues? Do you have something that you do collect, or do you kind of diversify and pick different things?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say I'm fairly diverse in all the sets that I buy. I've bought, superhero ones, definitely Star Wars because I grew up in the Star Wars era. But I love superhero movies. I also love the artistic sides of Lego. So I have the ideas and the creator sets. And I think the architecture sets are kind of like that too. I mean, they're just like little mini cities. I've always been more into the mini cities than the modular large cities. I just don't have the space to start building, tabletop cities and things like that. I do have the boutique hotel, but I've never built it actually. I'm just kind of sitting on it thinking maybe one of these days I'll buy it. I did actually want to buy the Sanctorum that you have, again, because it is, Marvel based and everything, but yeah, it's I think it comes down to space. All the little pieces, all the Star Wars, it really does. It takes up a ton. So
yeah, I mean, admittedly, the Sanctum is a fantastic set, and it's easily heads down one of my favorite Marvel sets ever. And if I was to, shameless plug here, but if I was to recommend anybody either the Sanctum Sanctorum or the Daily Bugle, pick the Sanctum Sanctorum because it's less windows and it's not as fiddly. So that is my take.
Great, I like that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And also, as well, the Sanctum Sanctorum is definitely one that I think, like you say, because you mentioned it very nicely with cities. If you do want to build a large modular city, it slots in really nicely. You could have the Sanctum next to the jazz club or the police station or the boutique hotel. You could definitely imagine it fitting in with any kind of city. And I think it's a fantastic set that any collector who can afford to get it should get. And it definitely fits that more adult price bracket that we mentioned before. So yeah, I think that, and I like the fact that you mentioned Star Wars as well, because obviously, as you can tell, I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I grew up in the 90s, so I'm very much a 90s baby. I remember watching Star Wars, the special edition in 1997, when it was on VHS tape, and it was the original box. And that, for me, as a kid, it just blew my mind. And when I found out that Star Wars did Lego, I was like, that for me, that's it. I remember just many hours going through old catalogs and magazines, circling the Lego that I wanted that was all Star Wars. And I look back at some of the sets that I had and I think to myself, oh God, why did I have to get rid of them? Like, why have I not got them? I'm on a gold mine right now.
Well, how good's your memory? What was your first Star Wars set that you bought?
That is a very good question, because this has come up so many times on the podcast. So this is not a hard. I'll take you back in time now. So this is the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's about the time Phantom Menace is out. Okay, so there was the Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan Kenobi with the battle droids. That was a battle set that came out. There was the Droidicas one, and I also had the original Death Star 1 and 2 that was Luke Skywalker, the Imperial officer, and the Stormtrooper, because it was the original yellow-faced Imperial style, and it was Emperor Palpatine with his throne, a little window, and Darth Vader. That was my earliest kind of Lego memory from when I first really started to collect hardcore. And then there was the old Endor set as well, which was just a couple of Ewoks, a Scout Trooper, and a Stormtrooper. That was it. Those were like my first real forays into being a collector many years ago in my youth. And then Attack of the Clones came out, and we had like the ATTE, we had the Coruscant Chase as well, Obi-Wan's original Starfighter, and I think I think I even had the original Slave One that came with Jango Fett and Boba Fett, and it's like the OG Jango.
We bet you wish you still had that one.
The amount of times that I've seen that one and it come up, and I've thought to myself, oh God, why did I have to grow up and not like have things? But yeah, those were like my earliest kind of like memories of Star Wars and Lego. But what about you? Can you sort of remember like the first sort of like Lego sets you ever got? That's a better question.
Yeah, not the first set I ever bought. I mean, most of the stuff I had as a kid was probably just like the box sets of loose Lego. The first actual like Star Wars set, or the first like I guess themed set, was the Millennium Falcon. So
nice.
I went with a somewhat big one, and it was actually a gift. I got it from a friend actually for a Christmas, and I just remember building it and building my first time lapse with that, and recording us building it while drinking a bottle of wine, and it took like 3 hours, I think. But it was a lot of fun, and that kind of rekindled the Lego flame, I guess. And from there, I just started investing in more.
It's crazy, isn't it? I've had this conversation so many times with so many different content creators and so many collectors, and it's something that's become a regular staple when we get new guests on the podcast, is people talking about their Lego life stories and their histories. I know it always fascinates me to get other people's perspectives, and when it kind of rejogs your memory of older sets that you remember growing up, and you think to yourself, oh God, yeah, I remember that, because it used to be the old bullhorn red studs for blasters, and it was just two colours for an Ewok. It was just brown and then one colour, and then oh God, so many memories. Such a simple,
a lot more bricky, a lot more blocky, and there wasn't as many rounded edges as there are today. So.
Oh, fantastic! And I guess really my question is TikTok. You, like I, use TikTok quite regularly. It's one of the main sort of formats for a lot of your content that you produce. What kind of got you into TikTok?
Good question. I don't know. I was a little scared of TikTok actually for a while. I was like, I don't want to be on TikTok. It's for the younger kids. Yeah. It's for, but I was using it as more of a stalker in a way of like watching like cooking videos and, sometimes getting some news and things like that. But it wasn't really, I was thinking there's no way I'm going to go on TikTok and create my own account. And then when I finally did decide to do that, it was because I was building stuff and I was getting into Lego again. again, and I was sharing it with some of my friends, and not all my friends are into Lego, and I could tell that I was either annoying them or I was like, they're not interested, so maybe I should find somewhere that people are interested.
Yeah.
And so I created the TikTok with more of an anonymous account. That's why I started it as my location, AFall Denver. And it was actually, I want to say, also shortly after I found out what the meaning of AFall was, because I didn't actually know that, I want to say 3 years ago. And so I was like, oh, that's good. That'll work well. And so I made it my account name, and again, my location, and then just kept it to that. So I don't know how many videos it was, but I did not put my face in at least the first 20, 30 videos. It was just either the TikTok voices or just me showing some builds or making some jokes or things like that. But it was never me as, a face or a content creator. I wanted it to be more about the Lego, and I wanted to be anonymous.
Yeah.
But then that changed. And then I started promoting, my account more by saying AFall Denver or things like that, and being in front of the camera, and got comfortable with that, and got some a good reception from that. And so, yeah, now I'm all over it with, probably trying to post at least once a day, and still enjoying it for now. So
that's nice. I think it's nice to know that it's not just me who had that perception of TikTok as it's an app for younger people. It's all about dancing, it's all about trends, it's all about music.
Yeah.
You'd never anticipate that beneath the surface there's a massive and ever-growing community of adult Lego fans and Lego fans who just have such a passion for Lego. And it's nice to sort of know that there's a community out there that I think has been very supportive, and there's been a very accepting community of content creators across the world. And it's amazing. Like, I never thought a couple of years ago, before I got into TikTok, that I would be sat here doing a podcast with an American talking about Lego. So for me,
I know
TikTok is definitely been a big part of my life now. And I've got to meet some of the UK based content creators as well. So we've all met at the Brickfest in Birmingham in the UK a few months ago, which was a really nice early birthday present for me. I'm not going to complain.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've gotten to meet some of my favorite content creators as well. I think TikTok, surprisingly, is possibly my most viewed app on my phone now. It's like the app I use the most now. It's insane.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, totally the same thing. I look at the usage length, and I was like, oh wow, well, I've been on TikTok for way too long now, instead of Facebook or something like that, or Instagram. But yeah, the community is, like you said, is perfect sum up, is that there is some very supportive people, and I have connected with local TikTokers, and I wish I had gone to the Brickfest last year. Actually, there was one in Colorado Springs, but of course that was the weekend that my kids were sick, so I couldn't go.
No, of course.
But I'm holding out for the next one, and hopefully I'll be able to go to that. And I would like to meet up with more local creators, content creators, Lego fans even. I know there's a bunch out here. So yeah, and TikTok has been, the app that's helped me deliver that, has helped me connect with those people, and that's great. So I've never expected to have Lego friends.
No, it's crazy because obviously, like, I have a lot of people, like, say, Just 15 Bricks, the all-time Yashin, Michael Bishop, Bite Size Bricks Echoed. We all have our own little WhatsApp group. So every day we're chatting, we're sharing Lego ideas, and we're sharing things like that. I speak a lot to people like Pod Bricks as well. Me and Pod are really good friends, and I chat to a lot of the other content creators as well, people like Ken Nerd and Jamie the Brick Educator. So it's crazy once you sort of look past the surface of that. One single app that you use to scroll through for like 10-second clips actually forms a big part of your social life. And I know it's like between computer screens and phone screens and things like that, but I think it shows just how important Lego can be for your mental health, for your social aspects. And it's just nice to chat to people who love Lego, because I think we all have our own niches. We all have our own things we like, we dislike. And I think a lot of it, we rib each other a lot about certain things that we have, but I think it's nice because it's all a nice community. There's very little gatekeeping, there's very little what's the word, there's very little negativity towards it within that community itself. Obviously, I know a lot of other forums and a lot of other places there is negativity, and sometimes you can find your content isn't quite well received, or that you have issues with your content on other platforms. But I think TikTok is not like that, which I think has been quite nice for me.
Yeah. Well, why did you start? Why did you start creating TikTok?
And you know what? It's crazy. I got back into Lego collecting in about 2014, I think. Yeah, 2014. So about 9 years ago. And I was at university, and I was living away from home, and I was doing a lot of different things. And I was just walking through, minding my own business, and I just happened to see like these really cool Lego sets in the window. And the house that I lived in with my friends at the time, I had my room and I didn't have a lot of space. So I think one day I'd done really well on an exam or something. So I just bought a small Lego set to build, and it just occupied my time. It just kind of helped me deflate and stuff. And then one little battle pack turned into a couple of microfighters. A couple of microfighters turned into another battle pack. And then it went from there. And obviously I started doing things on Instagram, and that's where I kind of did a lot of my pictures and spoke about my Lego. And then I got into YouTube a couple of years, about 18 months ago. I got into YouTube and I posted my first ever YouTube video. And my day job, a lot of my old staff that I used to work with, they knew that I liked Lego and things like that, and they knew that I was a massive geek and Lego was like my passion. And I can't remember how it came out. Somebody said, "Oh, maybe you should try to talk about your content on TikTok, because they have all sorts on there." And I was a bit skeptical. I was a bit like, TikTok, it's that app where people dance and do really weird things. And then I remember downloading TikTok and setting up my account and things like that, and then posted a couple of videos, and it was mainly just to promote my YouTube channel and to kind of talk about my set reviews that I did on YouTube and some of the things that I had. And then I started to come across more and more people who were content creators and who posted really cool things, and they had like a really amazing sets, and I was like, wow, this is cool. Like, there's other people out here who do TikTok. And then I think one of the first videos I ever came across was Beth, the all-time Yashin. It was either her or Jamie the Brick Educator. It was like one of the first videos that I really came across. And then I saw like how many views their videos got and how many followers they had and how many likes they got on their videos. And I thought, well, they're talking about Lego and they're doing a lot more things. I should do that. And it kind of just grew from there, really. And here we lo and behold.
Now, I really like what you also said about it. Sometimes just sitting down with your thoughts and building a set. I definitely find some therapy in just building a set alone, at night when all my kids are asleep, and I can build in peace and quiet, and it's just very calming. I really enjoy that part of it as well.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a getaway, a little bit of escape.
I like that, and I think it's something that we can share, because obviously we all live hectic day lives and things like that. Mm-hmm. Some people take up sports, some people take up exercise and go outside and things like that. And I think Lego is good because you can sort of just lose yourself in hours upon hours upon hours of building. And I think as hobbies go, it's not the worst hobby out there. It's expensive, but
yeah, sure. It's not unhealthy. I mean,
no, it's
unless you're chewing on the tires or something.
Yeah. Obviously, as Lego is the world's largest tire manufacturer,
Yep.
That's not really. And that actually, you raised a really good point there. Obviously, you're a massive Lego fan like I am, and you mentioned obviously how it's a nice escape from your family and things like that. It just gives you a chance to sort of de-stress and unwind. But have you been able to sort of share your passion for Lego with your family, with your kids, with your wife? Has it been something that you guys have all been able to do together, or is it just something that you kind of do and they just kind of watch from the periphery?
Definitely my kids. So my kids have been building stuff. I mean, I get like a lot of the Disney ones for my daughter. She plays with the she helped kind of play around with the Encanto house and Frozen and things like that. She likes the ships and the planes and the cars too. So I'm not gender biased here, so I'll get her whatever she wants to play with. And the boys, they play with everything also. Yeah. I mean, sure, they love the ones that have little shooters on it, so they're always like, oh, this is little Star Wars, guns that shoot the little studs out. But they also enjoy building the cars, and my son's favorite animal is a penguin, so we recently built the penguin slushy van together. And it's just it's a little bit all over the place with them and whatever they want to build. And sometimes I have, you can see behind me, I have shelves and racks of loose Lego. They just sometimes come in and I'll just let them build whatever they want to build, and that's always kind of fun. My wife, however, not a fan, not going to touch it, so she's leaving it all to me, even the artistic ones. And she also told me never buy her Lego flowers, so I have made note of that one to never use that as an excuse for Valentine's Day or something.
Okay, yeah, it's not a get out of jail free card. You can't forget flowers. You can't just go and buy some Lego ones. You actually have to be real ones, and make an effort. Yeah. Of course. I like that. That's nice. That's nice. It's a nice sort of thing you can do, and I like that.
But it's I enjoy building with them. They're not 100% into it yet. They're still young.
Yeah.
So the harder sets they don't build. But someday I think they will. I have the Bowser set in storage, and so I'm hoping, because my son loves Mario, I'm hoping that when he's a little bit older and has the focus for something like that, we can put that one together, and that'll be neat.
Oh, brilliant! That's nice. I like that. I think it's nice. Sort of, it's a good way of making memories and things like that, and it's a good way to sort of enjoy those little moments that you've got with each other. And you know what? It's cute. I'm very much a big fan. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's good. I see a lot of people online, including their kids and their family, in their Lego building and stuff, and so I find that it's good. I want to share with them. I don't want it just to be about me, and I don't want to be like President Business in the Lego Movie. I don't want them to not touch anything, break anything, because they break plenty. I've done TikToks on it. They have come in, picked something up, and instantly dropped it, and it's in pieces.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm not that strict, but but it does annoy me when I come into my room sometimes and there's 3 Lego sets on the ground that have been swapped around different heads, and my son built a Spider-Man minifigure, but it has 8 heads or something like that. So it's
fair. Spider's legs. Why can't Spider-Man have 8 heads?
I know, right on.
Oh no, it's fantastic. And for me, it's kind of funny, really. A lot of people don't actually know this, but my partner, she's not a massive Lego fan. She's really into sort of Disney, and she collects metal Disney pins from all the Disney parks and things like that. And she's constantly there, going through different auctions to see what she can get. But when we met, as an icebreaker, I got her a Lego Brickhead, because at the time Stranger Things was out, and it was a really big thing, and I bought her as an icebreaker the 11 and Demigorgon Brickheads. And we were sat there, and I gave her this gift, and I said, okay, it's just a little bit of fun. I like Lego, like Lego. Here's a small gift. And we sat there, and I let her build 11. I built the Demigorgon because it was a very difficult build for a novice, and one of the first Lego sets she's ever built.
Cool.
And that takes pride of place in the living room, where we can see. And then as we've as our relationship has gotten further and further into it, she's sort of really gotten into Lego Brickheads. So whilst I collect Lego Star Wars, Lego Marvel, things like that, she really collects Brickheads. And March 1st came, and there's a whole new swath of Brickheads that came.
All the princesses.
Yeah, I got messages just saying, look at all these, and it's just screenshots of all the Brickheads, and then obviously they're all here. And I thought to myself, never did I ever imagine that I'd be there discussing Lego Brickheads with someone, and ended up buying them for her birthday and taking her to a Lego convention, just effectively her allowing me to place Lego strategically around the house. So it's an interesting little thing, to be honest.
It's not Lego, it's decoration, it's art.
It's an investment.
Yes, I have the Great Wave hanging on the wall over in the family room over there, and then the Starry Nights hanging right here on my wall. So
nice. I think Starry Night is one of my favorite sets that I don't yet own. It's on my list to own, and I got to go see the Van Gogh exhibition in Manchester, and I just absolutely loved it. And when I saw it as a Lego set, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely putting that on my list of something that I'm going to own one day before it retires.
Oh, yeah. I hope they make more of those. I mean, they're not complicated builds as far as putting it together. But when you see them, I think they're so well done.
Yeah.
Using Lego pieces to create what it is. I find that very artistic and cool. So, and definitely worthy of being on the wall. all. Versus my, as you can see behind me, my Imperial cruisers and
Yeah.
batch shuttles and stuff like that. That one, those have to stay in my office. My wife won't let me put those out in the living room. So.
Bad Batch Shuttle is a fantastic set as well. It's got to be there, hasn't it? You know, it's a fantastic set.
Yeah, yeah, and the figs too that come with that.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
Yeah, and just as we're discussing, it's like right there, just off camera. Love it. So before we go on to our next topic, are there any questions you have got for me as the host? You are our guest for the podcast. Is there anything you would like to ask me?
Sure. Yeah. I know I got your background of why you started getting into, why you got to TikTok. I know you say Star Wars, you're a fan. Is that your favorite theme then? Star Wars?
It's my joint favorite theme because Star Wars is what I grew up to love when I was a kid. As I said before, you know, growing up in the 90s, I was a 90s baby. So Lego Star Wars was one of the first major properties that I ever saw. But I'm also a Marvel fan as well. So I really got into collecting Marvel when Marvel released all the Marvel mechs and Marvel mechs, and kind of grew from there. Really, I got the Marvel mech, which I absolutely love, and then somehow I went from Marvel mech to the Daily Bugle, and obviously, you know, nice to see that in camera as well. For those of you who are not unaware, or probably aren't going to be watching this, but you're going to be listening to it. You know, Thor's hammer with the Infinity Gauntlet. You might, yeah. So I kind of went for the Daily Bugle in the summer, and that was like my first big Marvel build. Which it's a nice build, but it's just a lot of windows, and it's very.
Yeah.
I mean, the minifigures are great, but it's a very complicated build. And then kind of from there, I've sort of gotten more and more into my Marvel, and obviously the Sanctum Sanctorum Heads Down is my favorite Marvel set that I own. So yeah, Marvel and Star Wars are kind of like on an equal foot.
Okay.
Star Wars more so, just because I've collected that the longest, and I could have a conversation about Star Wars all night long and not get bored about talking about it. So yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So then my question for you, two questions. One, what is your favorite Star Wars set? And two, what set would you like to see them build or make for Star Wars?
Gosh, wow. Just for context, guys, I was not quizzed on these questions in advance. So I do apologize. Now for what you are about to hear. My favorite Star Wars set ever, Heads Down, is the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels.
Nice.
It was
Great figs too.
Yeah, it was my holy grail Lego set and that I wanted. And then when I went to Brickfest in Birmingham and I got to meet some of my content creators for the very first time, it was for sale there. I spent about £400 and I bought it with the Phantom that goes with it.
Nice.
I thought you can't have one without the other, you know, and like,
sure,
it's the only set where we've got Zeborelius as a minifigure so far.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that is my favorite. From when I got into Lego collecting, that sort of time frame, that is my favorite set from that time frame. But I've also got a bit of a soft spot for the Snowspeeder Microfighter from 2014, because that is the first microfighter that I ever bought when I got back into Lego collecting. So that has got a very small place in my heart, as well as my collection. I think that'll be one set.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, it's the nostalgia of it. Oh, and what do I want to see them build? That's a really hard question, because you look at Star Wars and like the last, 40 odd years, and oh God, wow.
I mean, how do you feel about the they keep redoing certain sets too.
Yeah.
Or like the most, current release of the Executor, micro scale, that I think looks amazing. I definitely, pre-ordered that one because it'll fit in my office in the space. The other one for $1,100-$1,200 will not fit my budget or my room. But what would you like to see? Would you like to see more of those micro scale, micro fighters? Would you like to see a specific, I think they've done Slave One, enough times that we don't need to see any more of those. We don't need to see any more Razor Crests. Even the X-Wings, I think, are the same thing, just different colors. So
it's a hard one as well, because like you said, we've had about 3 Razor Crests in about 2 years. We had the original one when The Mandalorian came out. We had the updated version, and then we've had like the Microfighter one. We've had the $600 like UCS one, which I mean, I like the Mandalorian, but I don't need 7 Mandalorians. I don't need 4 Green Sagas. I don't need 4 Grogus.
Yeah, I know.
And obviously, the same with like the Millennium Falcon. I think we've had like so many Millennium Falcons. And in our last podcast episode, I hit the all-time Yashin with some. So, for example, the UCS Millennium Falcon has been around since like 2016, 2017. It's the longest running Lego Star Wars set currently in circulation. I like them and I get why they make them. But for me, give me something different. Give me a play scale Nebulon B frigate. Give me an updated B.
Yeah.
We haven't had a B-Wing since 2014. And obviously, Return of the Jedi's anniversary is coming up.
Yeah. And you make a good point about the B frigate. That was just like a micro scale version too. That wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a bigger one of that would be great. I bought recently. I haven't opened it yet, but the Tantive 4.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I have that. I just haven't opened it. I'm worried. I don't want to open it because I'm like, oh, then I have to build it and the value instantly goes down. Should I save it as an investment because it's already going up so much?
Yeah.
It's the only one that had Bail Organa in it. So yeah.
I get it. And I think one thing they should make, and I don't think they ever will, is a Master Builder series or like play scale Geonosis Arena from Attack of the Clones. I think that'd be a really cool one because you can just imagine the sheer amount of Jedi minifigures, the sheer amount of Separatist and bad guy minifigures, the Acklay and other creatures in the arena, the battle droids, the Geonosians. You could get Jedi Bob. Give me an updated Jedi Bob. There you go. That.
Sure.
So goatee, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Give me that.
That'd be fine.
There you go.
Yeah. That'd be great. I like the other scenes that they created too, like the trench run, Dagobah, and the compactor. I like them. I think they're creative just for what they look like. But I don't know if I want more. But if they do build more, I'm thinking pod race scene would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, and we had that mini Hoth one, didn't we? Which was years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I liked that one.
Imagine that as a pod race one. That would be very nice.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. I needed to get that that one, the Tatooine one too, with the little sand crawler in it. Yeah.
Oh God, this is it now. This is what happens, everyone, when you get two really big Star Wars fans on. We just chat. It kind of descends into all these things, and do you know what?
Wish lists.
I'm here for it. If anybody from Lego is listening, we're giving you ideas. If you want to get in touch with us for any royalty,
sure, we'll beta test for you.
Yeah, we'll do it for you. We'll go to Denmark. We'll build. We'll have a go. We'll come up with some designs. Hit us up. We're here for it.
Definitely.
And so moving on from this very big brief discussion, because I've really enjoyed that. TikTok is one that I'm going to trail back to because it's a very big part of, like we said, and it's obviously where we've been able to communicate and things like that. Now, I myself don't consider myself to be a very big content creator. I post things here and there. I post fun, I post niche, I post informative, I do set reviews. But your content itself is amongst that sort of diverse realm. You post a lot of different things. Like you said, you post things that your kids have knocked off. You'll post set reviews, you'll post tours of like your little Lego office and things like that. My question to you, Nathan, is why do you love making content like that? What is it about making that content that just sort of makes you want to keep doing it? Is it a personal thing? Is it things that people enjoy? What's your motivation?
I like it because it keeps me busy, number one. Number two, I like being funny on it. So I try to make jokes a lot of times. I'm a dad, so it's one way of getting my dad jokes out in a way. So I'll try to make a, I don't know, Star Wars joke or just something funny about a minifigure that came out. I used to, love The Simpsons. So I have a bunch of Simpsons minifigures, and I've actually created a couple things for those that I'm going to be releasing, soon as well. But, I don't know. I enjoy kind of that aspect of it, kind of creating content that people would be interested in seeing. I mean, I'm surprised that one of my post that I made got so many views that it did. It was just me being silly because the Kenobi series was coming out, and I always thought that was really funny. His hello there. The people were like talking about it, and so when I made a couple funny things about that, it just that one blew up, and I was surprised. But it made people laugh, so great. If that's something that I can just be goofy and silly and it makes 500,000 people laugh, then great. So but
then I think that's what you want, isn't it? When people get that satisfaction and enjoyment from what you post. It's like an instant gratification, really, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I mean, I've always been into, doing stuff for everyone else. I mean, I do it for me because it's fun, but if other people enjoy it as well, then it's great. I love sharing that humor, or just the builds that I've created, or the reviews, the time lapses I've done. I have a love-hate relationship with the time lapses. I think they look cool, but I don't really feel the need myself to sit there and watch them. So I can only assume that other people don't want to sit there and watch a time lapse that lasts a minute of a build, because it goes so fast anyway. You're like, oh, I see the beginning of it, I see you building it, and then I see the finished product. So I don't know. I haven't really done a whole lot of those. I've done a couple. The product reviews I think are worthwhile. Because I do think, and the release news when somebody says, oh, this is coming out, like nobody knew that Executor was coming out. I'm so surprised they kept that one hidden. But then all of a sudden you see these other things about these new leaks coming out, or the the new ship that's coming out too soon.
Yeah.
So
but we trade in leaks and rumors in our fandom, don't we, in our community? And obviously the Mandalorian, there's going to be the picture of the pirate snub fighter that's coming out as well. From those of you who've not seen the Mandalorian, I'm not going to go into any more than that. But we trade in rumors with a lot of the things that we talk about in Lego, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, I stick to the kind of the fun content, but I let it go any direction. Honestly, it'll go all over the place, and if people like it, I do look to see what people are viewing on my page versus the other things. It's I don't know. I would like to start doing more lives on TikTok too, and start talking with more people and just having conversations like we're having. So it's fun. It's a good community.
Yeah. In terms of content and things like that, have you had any negative experiences with your content? Have you ever had any times where you've done something with your content and it's just gone completely the opposite way that you never expected it to go? Or have you had any bad experiences involving your content and how it's been received or anything like that?
No, I mean, occasionally, I do remember back in the day when I was creating content, I didn't want to make too many videos that I was like bragging. That I was flexing, that I had all these sets, and I have, 300 sets. And I have made a few videos, but I did them in more of I felt a creative way, where it was like just kind of fun. Like, oh, here's a bunch of sets that I have, and doing it with like the clicking noise of a Lego going together, and click, click, click. But I was trying not to make it so that I was bragging just about, oh, look at what I bought at the Lego store. So I don't do a whole lot of those. Occasionally I'll do like an unboxing of something, but not that often. I did have some negative instances recently. Actually, somebody, Hall of Fame Bricks, actually told me about somebody who had been stealing my content, actually, taking about, I want to say they took about 30 of my videos and then posted them on another account on Facebook, Facebook Reels. And so they took it from TikTok without my logo, without even crediting me, and they put it on Facebook. And they'd been doing that for a while, because you can see other Epic Bricks, his content had been stolen. Some other content before them, the Hall of Fame Bricks, their stuff had gotten stolen. And it seems like this account just keeps doing that, just grabbing content from TikTok, posting it on their own Reels, and then that's it. They don't say anything. They don't talk about who did it. There's no logos, nothing. It's just they're pretending it's their content. And they have like 200,000 followers. So yeah, it's disgusting. I hate, when somebody steals something so easily from people who will work hard on these things to, do it for the love of building, or for their own, viewers and their own followers, to have somebody else just steal it and throw it up without any care. So that's the only thing that I'm a little negative on right now. It almost made me want to stop creating content for a while because of it. I even messaged them multiple times, had other people message them, but nothing has happened. Facebook hasn't done anything about it. So
I think I mean, it's a shame as well, because we don't get royalties, we don't get paid for the content that we produce. We are not doing this for a paycheck. We're doing this because, like you say, it's something we love. It's something that we enjoy. It's something that gives us satisfaction and it gives us enjoyment. And to see some experiences like that, it's sad and it's upsetting and it's hurtful, because you work so hard on a video that's maybe a minute long or 30 seconds long. You put in so much time and effort for that, for other people to enjoy, and then somebody just snatches it away from you. So it almost, in a way, it kind of puts you off like going towards these other formats and sticking with the formats and the platforms that you use, because you know, with those, like obviously with TikTok especially, because of how big our community is, we can easily spot people who are trying to do these things. And then get same with like Instagram and YouTube and things like that. You can spot people who are trying to con you into posting other people's content as your own. Whereas obviously I've never used Facebook Reels for any of my content, so I've never really got like I've never got the patience to sit there and do Reels for that. But I've never really had experiences like that myself. I've heard of it obviously from you and a couple of other people, where people have taken some of your ideas and not credited them. But I just think I think it's sad when it kind of comes to that as a hobby, that people are doing that. It's just unfair, really, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I like how TikTok does it. When you do a duet or something, it credits the person that you're duetting, and instantly puts their screen name in there, or stitching or whatever. I mean, I like that. It forces you to give credit, and I really wish they wouldn't be able to steal the video content without logos or anything on it. If they had stolen it with my name on there, and it said who I was and everything like that, and then they were reposting, I wouldn't care. I don't think I would care as much. It's not a big deal because they're just sharing it at that point. But if they take it and essentially it looks like they created the content, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah, so. I understand that. And I guess my final question for the TikTok content topic that we're going to go into is, if you were to give any advice to any budding content creators out there, any collectors out there, if you were to give any advice to anyone who is maybe a little bit hesitant to do content for TikTok or any other platform like that, what advice would you give them?
I'd say first, do it for yourself. If you want to do something, you have to enjoy it first. Don't do it for, follows. Don't do it for likes. Don't do it for, sponsorship, which none of us are getting. Do it for yourself. That you enjoy it, that you laugh at it, and that you just want to share it. And, you can share it with 10 people, 100 people. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to, get 50,000, followers or anything like that. I mean, I still am amazed that I get new followers, even though I'm sure half of them are bots. But I'm happy to just do the content for myself. So I would say if you're wanting to do that, then go right ahead, create it, enjoy it. Don't worry about what other people say.
Sage advice from Nathan or AFL Denver there, everyone. So if you are looking to post content for the very first time, if you're new to TikTok and you aren't sure what kind of content to post out there, just have fun. Do what works for you, and guaranteed people will like it. I myself don't consider myself to be a very big content creator. I have less than 2,000 followers on my TikTok account. I post here, there, everywhere. I post on and off, but I enjoy a lot of the content that I post because it allows me to interact with a lot of different content creators. And I can say in the 12 or so months that I've been doing TikTok, I've got to collaborate with every person I was a fan of on TikTok. So for me, it's just, I like the social side of it. But again, post what makes you happy, post what you enjoy making. If it gets you happy and it gets you in a good place, do it. Let's go crazy.
Exactly.
So I think, dear sir, we are close to about an hour, 51 minutes of the podcast. It's been really fun chatting with you. Do you want to play a game?
Sure.
Okay, so let's move on to our final part of the Fandom Bricks podcast for this evening. Those of you who stream and watch regularly will know about, we do our minifigure drafts, or we'll do our set drafts. We'll do our top 5 sets from a certain thing. We'll do our top 5 minifigures. And I thought, since Nathan, like me, is a Star Wars fan, we will do a Star Wars minifigure draft. And today's minifigure draft is all about Star Wars A New Hope. So the very first Star Wars movie that we all remember growing up from different ages and things like that. And I thought, let's do our top 5 minifigures from that movie. They can be from any time from 1999 to now. They can be figures that you like, figures that you own, figures that you owned, but they have to be from the movie. That is the only criteria we have. And just as a side note, for those of you who are wondering from our previous episode, Beth, the all-time Yashin, won the minifigure draft with her Gonk Droid selection, and she won her previous appearance with Max Rebo. So she'll never be appearing on the podcast again because she wins. So yeah, congratulations to the all-time Yashin for winning. It was never in doubt that she was going to win. You picked the new Gonk Droid from the TIE Bomber, and you picked Max Rebo. you're gonna win.
I know. I've been looking for Max Rebo forever, trying to afford that one. So
he's like up there with like he's like the rock star of.
yeah, I know. I got right here. You can see I got the barge right there, but I don't have Max Rebo. So
I think the cheapest one I ever saw when I first kind of like got into collecting, I was really serious about it. I think I saw a second-hand one that was scratched and battered, and it was like £100, and I thought, yeah, no, I'm not even touching that. That's
exactly.
So, Nathan, as our guest for tonight's podcast, you have the option. Would you like to go first, or would you like to go second?
Let's go. I'll go first.
Oh,
because then does that mean oh no? Yeah, I'll go first, just in case.
Okay, so,
I don't know what you got. I don't have that many. This was actually kind of hard.
Yeah,
because I had to specifically only from New Hope. I was like, okay, I got to make sure. I had to cross-reference to make sure they were only from New Hope, or not only, but that at least they were in New Hope.
I've got about 10.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, we might have some of the similar ones, but maybe from the same sets. I don't know.
If we do clash, obviously you've listened to the podcast before and you caught up on it. If we do clash, then obviously that is crossed off your list. You'll have to kind of pick a different character. I may make exceptions because it's your debut. So, yeah.
I should have grabbed some more.
Do you have a quick look around before you take
here's my loose figures. I'll quickly build one.
Somebody's definitely prepared just in case.
So, nope, that one's not going to work. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll put that down for now. Maybe I won't need it. I don't know. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll start with just basic, because that's the other thing is if I start, then if we clash, we clash. But
yeah.
Going with Old Man Obi-Wan.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, old Obi-Wan, not one of the newer ones. He's got gray hair. He's got the cape. Old Obi-Wan. Yeah, that was actually from, as I said, the first Millennium Falcon set that I bought.
Oh, so there you go. There. I think if you're gonna start strong.
Yeah, the other ones we'll see. See.
Funny you should go for that one, because my first pick is from a. Okay, let's go back in time. Let's go into my time machine. The year is 1999. It was called Lego Systems, and it was an X-Wing. And I am picking the original set number 7140. I'm picking the original X-Wings, Big Starklighter.
Biggs. Okay.
With the Carlton Banks style moustache.
Yes, in the classic orange jumpsuit.
Yes, and the basic helmet design that has not changed in like 30 years. It's still the same one.
Pretty much. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going for Biggs.
Okay. Number 2. I went with. I also didn't know the criteria. I didn't know if we had to own them. So that no. See, so I only picked the ones that I actually own.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I have visuals. I went with Luke Skywalker, though, in the Stormtrooper outfit.
Right.
So, because I thought that was a funny scene. I mean, the fact that they're running around, all the quotes from Leia, I mean, that was just, he was so awkward and young in that scene. Compared to the later movies. I would have also picked Han, because that scene where he's on the microphone and he's trying to tell the he's trying to tell the other officers that everything's fine here, everything's fine. How are you?
It's just that typical Harrison Ford kind of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Fair. I for the first 2 picks. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I think for my second pick, I am going to pick from the UCS Y-Wing we got a few years ago. I'm going to pick Gold Leader Dutch Vander.
Okay.
It's from the really big UCS style Y-Wing, because we had the Rogue One style Y-Wing, which I own, which is really nice. And then a little bit after that, we got the big UCS one. And I love the Dutch Vander because I love the helmet design for him. I love the fact that it's such a detailed Y-Wing with all the greebling, and I think if you're going to pick Gold Leader. So that is my choice for.
Good pick. I was getting ready to say I was veering away from the pilots, but my third pick is a pilot.
Okay.
I am going with my third pick. I'm glad we didn't pick the same one. Wedge Antilles.
Oh, I forgot about Wedge.
Yeah, how can we forget about Wedge? He was in 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
He was one of the only ones who survived and was in all the battles.
Yeah. Made a cameo in episode 9 and
yes,
was also in Star Wars Rebels as well.
Yeah. So I went with Wedge. As you can see, it's a very simple, basic figure. So, but it's from I think 2006.
Yeah.
They didn't add much printing, no arm printing, no leg printing. It's just that front little helmet. So so that would be my third pick.
Nice. You know what? Solid. Top 3, solid. I like it. Okay. So for my third pick, I am going to go for, from the UCS Mos Eisley's Cantina, I am going to go for one of the Bith band members.
Bith. I almost bought some of those recently.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for them. I just love the detailing. I love the design. I think obviously, you know, it's such an iconic scene when they're in the cantina, and you know what, Bith aren't featured in a lot of Star Wars media, and I think they're a cool concept of a character. So do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go for. People are gonna call me in the comments and say it's not a named character. They were in A New Hope. I'm gonna go for a Bith band member.
Okay. How many band members were there? Do you remember?
Was it 5? Wasn't it?
Was 5, but how many of the Bith guys? I think, trying to remember. I almost want to say it was only 3.
But yes, Cantina.
Yeah.
I will tell you now.
Oh yes, you was gonna say you have the cantina.
Yeah. There was 3 in the cantina.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
3, and there you go. All right.
Yeah, there was 5 in the movie, but 3 in the cantina. So
yeah. Those go for about. I think they go for about $10 each now.
Yeah, they're expensive when you think about it, because obviously, with the UCS Cantina set to be retired, supposedly at the end of this year, they're just going to go up in value as well.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be in any other sets, honestly. Why would they? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good one. I like the band scene. So, I'm not going to spoil it. All right. Number 4. Going again, I went with the ones I had. If I now that I know, I could have picked anyone. But okay, I don't think you would have picked this one. So I also wanted to try to pick ones that you wouldn't pick. I didn't want to get canceled out. General Jan Dordana.
Oh, I did not think of him.
So yeah, he again, very little screen time. However, he was in charge of the Battle of Yavin. So
is that the one from the recent X-wing set?
So let's see here. I wrote it down. Yeah, it's from the Luke X-wing. Yeah, one of the original ones.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. And again, he's only appeared. He's a very limited release minifigure as well. He's not been in a lot of.
Yep.
I think
that one set. I think.
Yeah. That's solid.
Not many people would pick him, but I mean, hey, he was in charge of the battle, so I think he cannot be forgotten. He did not die, apparently, too. I read up a little bit about him. I don't think he didn't die during that that period. Supposedly, he got captured and so forth. But yeah.
Ooh, okay, things are going to get very, very, very interesting. So I am going to pick for my number 4. I am going to pick. I've got it written down. I still can't decide who I think is going to be a good pick. I'm going to pick Grand Moff Tarkin.
Okay.
But I'm going to recent UCS Death Star Tarkin.
Okay.
Because I've got the Star Wars Rebels version, which is a lot darker. His hairpiece and his uniform is more like a tan color. But I love the 2016 UCS version that comes with the Death Star, and I wish that I owned that set, because I think when I first got into collecting, I really wanted a Death Star, and I kind of taught myself out of it, and now hindsight is a wonderful thing because of how much a Death Star is. I'm gonna pick Grand Moff Tarkin for number 4.
Okay. I like how yours are also in the I don't know, it's funny. Our themes of what I'm picking and what you're picking are definitely different.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. My last pick is a tad cheating, but we'll see. Your listeners can be the judge of that. I'm going to go with the only, let me see this again, the only characters who are in all 9 movies.
Wow.
So I know it's cheating because it's the duo, but it's a classic. C-3PO, R2-D2, only characters in all 9 movies.
Okay, well,
so
Joe, I'm going to allow that one. Because
they're a duo.
because
They're a team.
duo, because I will see your duo and I will raise you my final pick, which will be
Okay.
a tandem. So for my number 5, I'm going to pick Dr. Evazan and Pando Baba.
Okay. Why?
Because, you look at that scene from A New Hope, when they walk into the cantina, they're trying to get off Tatooine, they're trying to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Luke stood at the bar, and then, Pando Baba's there talking to him, and then Dr. Evazan's like, just say, he doesn't like you. He doesn't like you either. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, I'll be careful. You'll be dead. And then it all kicks off. And then the OG Obi-Wan Kenobi that you presented,
Sure.
armor.
Chops off the arm.
So I feel like it comes full circle that way. You started off with that one. I'm going to finish off with Dr.
Okay.
and Pando Baba and the
Sure, they're a team.
Yeah, they come as a duo. So you've picked a duo. I'm going to finish off with one. And
fair.
the Pando Baba is actually a really nice minifigure as well. Like, it's probably the only one we're ever going to get.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've even seen it. I mean, I'm sure I have, but it's such a limited. Is it in the Cantina one that you have? Is it came in that one also?
Yeah, I think that's the only time we've ever had Pando Baba and Dr. Evazan. There's like that.
Okay.
That has got like 15, 20 minifigures, and the vast majority of them are exclusive to that set because they're all at the Cantina. So yeah, I think that's the best way to sort of finish off, because technically we've picked 5 because we've both picked a duo, but it's up to the people to decide who has the better 5 picks. I think.
Is he missing a hand also?
No, he's got his hand.
You just take his hand out.
Yeah, but you can just take.
Get authentic.
Absolutely. That was actually really good fun, and it's up to the people to decide how this is going to go. There will be a poll for the streamers and the viewers to decide who had the better team. I think you might have clinched it with Wedge Antilles and Badana. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that might be what tips it over the edge. My luck with these head-to-heads isn't overly great, because when I have done this against Sam, it's been quite even. We've pretty much cancelled each other out. Whenever it's been one of us with a guest, the guest has always won. I'm trying to break the duck.
Well, I went with classics with a few extras, so who knows?
Who knows?
We'll see who's the judge.
But we are coming towards the end of the podcast, mate. We are just over an hour or so of our whole podcast and stuff. Have you enjoyed yourself?
It's been fun. Very, very good time. I really appreciate you inviting me on and for the conversation. So yeah,
I'm more than happy to chat Lego and Star Wars with anyone who is interested. And the fact that you're making your debut on the Fandom Bricks podcast as well with me as the host, for me, it's up there. I've got to cross off another Lego content creator off my bingo card that I've got to do something with. So for me, it's a dream come true. This is what I do things for. I do this for the interaction. But my question for you, Nathan, is where can our lovely viewers and listeners, where can they find you? What are your socials for them to go and look you up? Sure.
Well, it's all mostly TikTok. There is an Instagram account as well, but it is AFOL_Denver. So AFOL, adult fan of Lego, and _Denver. And that's where you can find me on both of those platforms. And look me up. Send me a message.
Absolutely. If you don't go and follow Nathan, please go and follow him. He's amazing. His content is really good. If you like to see different spins on different Lego themes and just how Lego works, go and check him out. You, as always, guys, can find me on my usual social haunts. So TikTok is my main platform. That is at the Galaxy of Bricks. That is all one word. You can find me on my secondary platform, which is Instagram, which is also the Galaxy of Bricks. And I do have a YouTube channel, but I haven't posted in about 9 months because I've been kind of focusing on my TikTok. And that is also the Galaxy of Bricks. You can also subscribe to the podcast at the Fandom Bricks as well. We don't just post podcast stuff. We also post fun little builds and things like that. Some shorts as well. We're trying to do YouTube shorts. Any messages you guys have, we try and interact with as well. And my co-host Sam, who you all know as Bite Size Bricks, you can find him at Bite Size Bricks as well. So once again, thank you very much to Nathan, my guest. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast, sir.
Oh, it's pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much for having me again. It's been great. So yeah.
Absolutely.
See you on TikTok.
Yes, very much so. I have been the Galaxy of Bricks. He has been @AFOL_Denver. This has been your latest episode of the Fandom Bricks podcast. And until next time, take care. Bye, guys. See you all very soon.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the Fandom Breakdown. Make sure you subscribe and check out some of our other videos.